What's up, guys? We're back on the Supercharged podcast featuring Lane Hubenak, the Minecraft mastermind, also the sexiest man alive, for any ladies wondering, listening to the audio podcast, or the audio version, and myself, Noah Anzaldua. I'm an Apex gamer, what can I say? So is Lane, but, he plays Minecraft and I don't, so that's how we get that. Anyways, we've got a lot to get into today. Lane, you have anything to say?
Yeah, so we got a lot of fun stuff planned out for you today on the podcast. I just kind of want to start us off with a short icebreaker to kind of get us introduced to what we will be talking about to start off with. So we will be talking about some Star Wars today. So for all you Star Wars fans out there, all you fellow nerds, look forward to that. To start us off, I just want to say there are a bunch of different lightsaber colors in the Star Wars universe. So they each have their own meaning, and I just wanted to kind of see what would your color be? Noah, what do you think your color would be?
I want to say, okay, if I could say black, I would say that, but that's like dark saber territory, and I don't think I'm badass enough to be like a Mandalorian with a dark saber. But I think I would go blue just because I love it. I love the way it looks. It's iconic. It's like the original for me in my mind, and especially in like the animation, the blue lightsaber looks so dope.
Okay.
What about you?
For me, it would either be yellow or green, I think. Because I don't know, I've always been a very not conflict oriented person. Like blue is very much like they're in the action. Like they it's all about victory, it's all about using their sword skills, whereas green or yellow are more their force abilities, negotiating, trying to get people to resolve their issues instead of just combat.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to find out here. I have a quiz that I pulled up for the both of us. We're going to try to run our way through this real quick and see what our colors would be. So, Noah, go ahead and read off the first question for us.
All right. So the first one is, what would you do about the Sith Order if you were in charge of the Jedi Order? Kill all of them, offer a peace contract, keep an eye on them, imprison all the Sith, give them a chance to join the light side, or make them your allies?
I went with give them the chance to join the light side.
I'm gonna go with that one too. That seems the sensible one.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
Because I mean, you both they're allies at that point, but then you don't have to worry about them, still following their Sith code.
Yeah.
Because they're on the light side. So.
And if we're near the end of the fall of the Jedi Order, then we need to bolster our numbers anyway because we're already dying out.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. What would be your priority in an interstellar battle? You have victory, fewer casualties, following the orders, killing more enemies, finding a way to end the battle, and deceiving my enemies.
I'm not going to go the Poe Dameron route of following the order, or of victory over everything. That didn't seem to go well for him. I'm going to probably go with finding a way to end the battle.
Yeah, I actually went with victory on that one. I'm not going to lie. I know that's a bit hypocritical considering I just said like I'm not saying victory over anything, but definitely victory. Don't want to be on the losing side.
Yeah.
How would you like to be remembered after you died in the Star Wars universe? A hero, a leader, a friend, a protector, a king, or the GOAT?
I want to be a protector. I want to be like a guy who sticks up for the people.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'd want to be remembered as a friend. Someone who died protecting those he cared about, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Fan of the franchise.
Yeah. In my opinion, blank is the biggest enemy of a Jedi. The Sith Order, selfishness, lack of discipline, lack of creativity, lack of empathy, and the Jedi Order.
The Jedi
Honestly,
Order.
Yeah, Jedi Order is the biggest enemy of the Jedi.
Yeah.
To be honest,
they're so fucking hypocritical. Like they're like, no. Well, okay, like Mace Windu is probably the biggest example of like someone who's like, we have to be like careful and cautious against people that can manipulate us. And then meanwhile, he's just like letting Darth Sidious like under his nose just do whatever he wants. It's awful. Yeah.
And that kind of goes into the colors of their sabers too. Because purple's really rare. It's basically like they can both use they are in between. They use both light and dark-sided abilities. So that's kind of why you see that the hypocrisy in the movie, especially where he's like, "If what you tell me is true, you will have earned your seat on the Jedi Council," and then
Yeah,
immediately is like, "We need to kill the Chancellor. No imprisonment or
yeah,
trial or anything. Just
it's
straight up
ridiculous
assassination."
because you can see where Anakin's coming from after that. It's like, what? Like, hold
Yeah.
on.
This whole time you've been telling me to go by rules and regulations. You're about to break them all as soon
Yeah,
as I tell you some sus stuff.
yeah.
All right. All right. So yeah, I went with Jedi Order. What would you do to an enemy who has surrendered? Free, torture, turn into a spy, interrogate, kill, imprison.
I think I would not turn them into a spy. I would probably just imprison them until something else comes about.
I would probably turn them into a spy because then we could find out information about the other party, and that'd be better to negotiate with.
True. That would be good. If you could trust
Yeah.
them.
True. You never know. What is your favorite Star Wars weapon? The lightsaber, the mind, the starship, the force choke, the blaster, or the dark saber? I already know what yours is. You're gonna go dark saber for sure.
Yeah. Uh, I think the Jedi mind trick. If that's what it's referencing, then Jedi mind trick is
I
mine
think it's just
actually.
I think it's just saying like their wits, like their quick wits.
Mm.
But yeah, also that could be mind trick.
If
I don't know. I feel like if it was mind trick, it would say mind trick because on force choke they did say force choke, not just force.
Yeah, uh, still gonna go mind because like if some people are like resistant to the Force, that means that's pretty dope. If they
Yeah,
can like resist like suggestions from Jedi.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
went with. What is your favorite way to assassinate a nemesis? Cut his slash her head off, headshot, execution, stealth kill, poisoning, or force choke. I don't even remember what a nemesis is, to be honest.
Just like your fucking worst enemy, I guess.
Oh, a nemesis. Okay, I thought it was like a species of alien or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Okay, man, I seem like an idiot right now. Um, man, cut his or her head off straight up, just Mace Winduing it with Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, probably execution.
I'm gonna go Force choke because Force choke is just the best. It's the best.
That's demented.
You get to relish in it. Okay,
Yeah.
next.
Right. I deserve to be a commander, mentor, Jedi, leader, rebel fleet pilot, or Sith. Honestly, I might go with rebel fleet pilot.
Yeah, me too. I feel like this is a cop out. Because if like I say I deserve to be a leader, it's like I don't
Yeah, that's not really a
know.
leader
That's
quality.
Anakin over
May-
there.
Maybe a mentor.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think rebel fleet pilot would just be more freeing though, more fun.
yeah.
Jedi's fly too. Which of the following words describes your personality better? Protective, peaceful, disciplined, special, lovely, or bloodthirsty? I would say probably protective.
I would say protective as well. Yeah.
All right. Halfway through, which of the following lightsaber colors would disappoint you? Red, yellow, purple, green, dark, or blue?
Well, they're just getting right into it.
Probably red, honestly.
I'm gonna say yellow. Just I don't like the aesthetic of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I don't know.
Mm. I would rather die than be on the dark side, kill an innocent soul, betray my friends, be ordinary, work for the devil, follow a Jedi's orders. Probably work for the devil.
I'm gonna say kill an innocent soul.
Yeah, both are good.
Yeah.
Which of the following nicknames would suit your Star Wars character? The Night Warrior, the Old Man, Punisher, the Angel, the Galactic Star, the Lord of the Darkness. Okay, that's just I don't
uh,
know.
I'm the old man, easily.
The Old Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably go with either Old Man or Night Warrior. Maybe Night Warrior. Because I don't know. I don't feel like I'm too wise. I would like to negotiate a lot of stuff, but if I have to, I would just fight when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Peace as a first option. That's my thing. Would you steal a lightsaber to win a battle? Never. It depends. I don't know. Probably. I don't like stealing, and yes.
I mean, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Need a lightsaber.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Just karate chop the blade? What color would you like your laser sword's hilt to be? White, gray, blue, golden, white, or black? Two whites? They messed up there.
They did. I want a
Um,
black hilt, probably.
Black hilt.
Yeah.
I think I would probably want a golden hilt. How would you hold your lightsaber? Yeah. Like a shield? With one hand, it doesn't matter. One sword in each hand, like a baseball bat with two hands. Um, probably with two hands, honestly.
I would go with one hand for the most part, but I don't know. It'd be free form. I'm gonna go one hand.
Did you fight another lightsaber user, where would you attack first? Arms, legs, torso, back, neck, or head? Probably arms. Seems to work out for Obi-Wan a lot, so.
It does, yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go legs.
Legs? Okay.
Yeah.
But damn, he did both on Anakin. No remorse.
Yeah, it's true.
What should be the punishment for a soldier who soiled your plants to your nemesis, or
Your
who
point. Yeah.
soiled? I think it's sold, not
Yeah.
soiled. Sold your plants to your nemesis by mistake. Probably forgiveness. If it's a genuine mistake, then yeah, forgiveness.
Okay. I would probably tell them. I'd probably lay them off. Like, yeah, we don't want you here anymore. But I wouldn't kill them. And
Yeah.
maybe I would like suggest that I would kill them, but I'd just be like, no, I'm just kidding. You're just not working for me anymore.
And also, it just says turn into labor. What does that mean? Like
I
they
don't
just
know.
all of a sudden they go from a soldier to a farmhand, I guess.
Yeah.
A hero, a hero is the one who fights the evil until death, knows when to avoid acting heroically, remains loyal to the light side, becomes unbeatable, saves lives, has the power over others. I would say probably knowing when to avoid acting heroically.
I'm gonna say it's the one who saves lives.
Yeah, good one. Choose a symbol that you would tattoo on your arm if you were a Star Wars character. Lion, owl, dog, phoenix, swan, or wolf. Probably an owl for me. No. A phoenix, not an owl.
I'm doing a phoenix for sure.
All right, and then the last one. What type of person would you marry if you lived in the Star Wars universe? Brave, wise, loyal, unique, kind, ambitious. Probably loyal.
I'm gonna say someone who is kind. And let's go. Actually,
What's
no.
your color?
It's green. I got green.
Are you okay? So at the beginning, you said yours was blue, and I said mine was either green or yellow. Well, yours is green and mine is blue.
Let's go.
It says you are a natural warrior. The color of blue represents the bravest Jedis in the Order. It also reflects that you have a protective and defensive character. You are not afraid of taking risks or putting yourself in danger. Nice.
Makes sense. Mine says you are one of the strongest warriors in the galaxy. Not many Jedi own a green lightsaber. That is because you need to control your anger to hold such a laser sword. The color of your lightsaber reflects your calm and reliable personality. You prefer to negotiate your way into your goals rather than any violent approach, and that makes you a great leader.
Nice.
I'm honestly not opposed to a green lightsaber, because thinking back to like Return of the Jedi, Luke is such a badass with that green lightsaber.
Yeah.
To be honest, especially in the first like opening scenes.
All right, so using that going forward, let's talk Star Wars in the games universe.
Yeah.
You wanna open us up on this, or you want me to go ahead and break it open?
Yeah, I'll go for it. This week we found out Respawn is working on 3 new Star Wars games, which we kind of already knew that they were working on one for sure, and that was Jedi Fallen Order, its sequel. And the other 2 we know now are going to be an FPS and a strategy game that they're collaborating on with BitReactor, who's made up of a bunch of devs from Firaxis Games, which they developed some of the XCOM stuff. So they definitely know their strategy. And yeah, with that, let's just get into like speculating about these games and what they could be.
Yeah. So I kind of want to start off with Jedi Fallen Order because I played the first one and it was amazing. the music, the mechanics, the world building, just the characters, they all felt so real. They felt a part of the Star Wars universe, so I really enjoyed that game. Um, I'm really looking forward to the second one. They said they're going to be announcing it May the 4th, which for those of you who don't know is the official Star Wars Day, so that's really exciting. Still don't know anything about the other two, so I think with this one they're definitely going to do it right. The way it ended was done really well. You kind of are left on a cliffhanger after finding out some nice information, and you got your crew together, so that was nice. And I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do with it again. Hopefully they bring back. I think the band was called the Hue or the Hun, not the Hun. I think it's literally called the Hue. It's a Mongolian like
Oh yes, yeah,
rock
yeah, yeah.
band. Yeah,
That was awesome.
they. Yeah, their music was pretty dope, and I was so sad because like in the trailer for the first one, it's like you hear their music, you're like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, but you only hear their song one time, and it's literally
At the
during like
beginning.
well, at the beginning when he's
Oh
listening
yeah,
to
and
it
at
in his
the
headset,
fight
the
arena. Yeah,
yeah, the arena. But those are the only two places you hear it. So
yeah, yeah. That music goes off. Like Mongolian throat singing's insane. And
yeah, honestly,
Fallen Order, yeah, I have like the same things. Like I love the story. I love like the sort of Metroidvania aspect of like unlocking new areas and going back. Also Dathomir in game form and like seeing the Night Sisters and like the
that was so cool.
they're awesome. And also I think that the sequel has like an opportunity to really capitalize on the world of Star Wars and like especially in terms of graphical fidelity. If this is a next gen game and they don't release it on the old consoles, that'd be ideal because I feel like they had a lot of sort of um, compromises graphically. Like the Wookiees looked pretty bad, and some of the
Yeah,
environments didn't like look as they didn't pop as much as they could have. Um, but the first game was like amazing in terms of the sword play, in terms of like the Sekiro Dark Souls like combat, and also like the bounty hunter random encounters that would just happen sometimes.
hmm
Those were great, and the bounty hunter designs during those battles were like some of the best battles in the game.
when I first played it, anytime I play a game like that, I always go to the hardest difficulty, just so
Hmm.
it's like, just if I'm gonna grind this out, I'm gonna grind it out
Hmm.
once, you know? Like maybe later on, a few years later on, if I get bored, I'm like, oh, I haven't played that game in a while, I might go back. Um, But yeah, no, I did I think it was literally called Jedi Grandmaster was
Yeah,
like the hardest difficulty, and man, it was tough. Some of those boss fights were just super annoying. The Night Sister one at the very end was, or not Night Sister, the what's it called?
the
What
second
are
sister,
the
or the first sister, or the second sister, or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like
The Inquisitors.
the Inquisitors,
Yeah.
yeah. The Inquisitor fight at the very end was really annoying, and it was hard for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that one. That one was tough, and I was playing on the second hardest difficulty, and I had to restart so many times on that one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, also talking about the story a little bit more, Cal Kestis, I loved his character. I loved the backstory, like mixing in with the Order 66 and seeing like where he came from. That was really dope. Um,
Yeah, that was cool.
and then
The
Seer,
the flashback points where you would unlock a new ability and it would take you back to his Padawan days.
yeah,
That was
it
cool.
was really cool. And Seer's backstory, like the sort of tragic, like sort of kind of like Luke in The Last Jedi, kind of closing herself off from the Force. That's really cool, and I want to explore that more for sure. Because she's like super powerful, as we saw in like the very end of that
Yeah,
game. Um,
but still got fucking demolished by Vader.
yeah, she, yeah,
Then no one can counteract Vader.
yeah, um, yeah. So, but also this FPS game coming out, we know a little bit about it because like 2 weeks ago they had someone had come on Twitter. I think it was like Jeff Grubb from GamesBeat. He had
Hmm.
some information, and he was saying that the new FPS that Respawn was working on wasn't Titanfall 3, but it was a stylish FPS with a focus on mobility. And now that we know that that FPS is going to be a Star Wars game, I'm thinking bounty hunters or Mandalorians or something because, like, if I'm thinking Respawn's movement with like a Star Wars character or like something in the Star Wars universe, it's got to be bounty hunters because like those are the most mobile sort of people other than
If
Jedi.
Other than Jedi, because I could also see it being a Jedi based game with wall running and doing flips and stuff to climb up to other places. You see that all the time, and
Yeah.
not only in the series but in the game. So I can see that. But being a bounty hunter would be awesome. You see the success from The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and now the Book of Boba Fett, which is kind of started off kind of slow, but
Hmm.
we'll see how it continues to go. But even then, like just uh, spoiler alert, in the one of the recent episodes, you just for a brief minute hear the Mandalorian theme play, and people are like, "Oh shit!" Like, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I think it could be like a first person shooter. I mean, maybe there's like an RPG aspect that they haven't announced, and like maybe it's you're a Jedi and you're parkouring and it's like kind of like Mirror's Edge or Dying Light. That would be cool too. And I want to play more first person like melee games because I don't really see that too often. Especially not first person shooters with like good melee mechanics. But
mhm.
so that would be cool if it was a lightsaber thing. But I am thinking bounty hunter and like Mandalorian style stuff is like the way to go with like
Oh, for sure.
respawn. I feel like that's just such a good marriage of respawn and Star Wars.
Well,
Um,
considering who's leading it too, I could see how your mind's going with the bounty hunter stuff because it's being led by Peter Hirschman, right? So he helped co-create Medal of Honor.
okay, yeah,
And in an interview, he said, "I'm so thrilled to get a chance to work with my friends at Lucasfilm again. I have such great memories of working with them on everything from the original Star Wars Battlefront games to The Force Unleashed, and I've always been inspired by the classic Star Wars titles Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2. I've never forgotten the emotion and excitement I felt playing an FPS inside the Star Wars universe. They are defining experiences for many of us on the team and are a guiding light for this new project. It's a dream come true," he says. So he's making a Star Wars game that he's always wanted to play, and I think that's awesome.
yeah, that's really cool.
So yeah,
Oh man. Okay, so last one we haven't talked too much about is the strategy game with Bit Reactor, which has some devs from XCOM. Uh, I don't know what they do with this. I don't know. I really don't know how this looks because with strategy games, I don't know.
XCOM. That's that. It's like that top-down alien game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you fight aliens.
Hmm.
I could see it being a if it's a strategy game, either it's gonna either be kind of like Halo Wars,
Right.
where they're trying to tell a story, or it's just gonna be a strategy game, kind of like Civ or
Right.
Civilization, where it's like you literally are just you can pick a time period in the Star Wars universe, and it's gonna be one faction against the other. So like Rebels versus Empire, or it could be like um, the New Republic versus the what are they called? The Trade Federation
Yeah. Yeah.
with the droids and all that, or it could even go back to Old Republic days, old the High Republic, or not the High Republic, but the Old Republic versus like the ancient Sith.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
So
like
I could see it being one of those. That'd be cool.
that's one thing I'm thinking about, and then also like another aspect is like maybe it's like smaller scale, and it's maybe just like a group of people, and they're like you're just in charge of like moving them specifically like tactically along a map. I feel like to me it would be cooler if it was like big scale, like huge scale, and you have like rancors and you're just moving like a pack of rancors like along a map, and you're just like having them go ravage this place. You're like I don't know, that'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool, or like moving AT-ATs across the map and then having them take down like uh, civilizations would be dope.
I would like to see more of like you said the big war stuff, but not just like the main factions like I was talking about of like Old Republic, Sith, or Trade Federation, but like do like big scale but smaller factions. So you could do like I don't know, like Jabba the Hutt, like the Bounty Hunters Association. Like you said, they have rancors and they send them after like either other bounty hunters like the pirates.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? The spice pirates
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah,
Clone Wars.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to see stuff like that.
That'd be super dope. I I'm excited for that because I feel like there's a lot of potential. Like there's a lot of like I have no idea you could do anything, and I would be like probably excited about it. Um,
When you say you think it could be a smaller group of people, do you mean kind of like kind of like a tabletop game, kind of like D&D, where it's like you're like a group of 3 or 4 people that you control, and you go in and it's kind of like a top-down thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like D&D or like Fire Emblem or sort of like XCOM, like where you have a few people and you know them and like you kind of get to know them through the
Mhm.
story over the course of it. And like
Do you,
you're
do you do you think it would be turn-based, or do you think it'd be more like just point and
uh
shoot, top down?
like ideally this is my ideal game. It would be turn-based and you would have character like units that you can level up and they would all have their own backstories and like support. It would be Fire Emblem where they have support levels that they can like
Mhm.
get support conversations with each other. So like maybe there's like a rebel guy who's just like hardcore rebel, and there's someone who's like Han Solo, and then like they have a support that can go up and like they'll start
Like
to see more. Yeah,
smuggler, so you get more materials from raiding places or something. That'd be
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, while they sort of understand each other's side more as it goes on, and then like they get stronger together and like stuff like that. That'd be cool. And that's like Fire Emblem, but just Star Wars, which is that's what I want. 'Cause I love Fire
Yeah.
Emblem. Um, but yeah, so I think it's enough speculating about games that are not out, and we can talk about a game that is out. A game that I wasn't really I didn't have too high expectations for this because I kind of did not like Pokemon Sword and Shield all that much. I kind of bounced off of it after I realized I was 20 levels over everything else in the game and was just destroying everything. But Pokemon Legends Arceus released this past week, and it actually reviewed very well and is kind of noted as a game that shifts the idea of what a Pokemon game could be, and it's pretty dope. You want to talk about that, Lane?
Yeah. So personally, I really enjoyed Sword and Shield. I grinded out the Pokédex for it and tried to get a bunch of shinies and the Gigantamax shinies. And really, what kind of turned me off of the game was the Pokemon. I think it's called like Pokemon Home or something like that, where people were pretty much just taking Pokemon that they had
Oh
in stores
yeah,
from other games and bringing it in, and it was so dumb to me because it felt like it was completely breaking the experience of what the game was supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know. I liked what they had in that game. It's the first game I played where the graphics were amazing, and it was not like a 3DS, like you're just a little
yeah,
sprite running around. Like
yeah,
it's actually like interactive. You can go around the world and look for stuff and harvest stuff. So I thought that aspect was cool. And same thing with the Pokemon being in the overworld. That was new to me. Like you didn't have to go through tall grass to encounter them all the time. Sometimes you could just run into a Machamp or a Machoke. It's like,
yeah,
oh shoot. Like,
yeah.
them running after you is scary too. So I like that about those games, and I've heard a little bit about them bringing that into Arceus. I haven't played it personally, but I don't know. How do you feel about
So
it?
so that's exactly why I think I'm gonna love Arceus because yeah, like the new ideas that Sword and Shield like brought in were dope. It's just that I don't think they worked in context of like the traditional Pokemon game because I would spend time in the wild area, looking for these huge Pokemon in the overworld to fight, and then I would beat them, or even I would catch them, and then my Pokemon would level up 10 times in one battle, and I'd be like, oh, if I go fight gyms now, I'm just gonna destroy them. Like I'm just gonna run over them, which kind of sucked because I like difficulty in the games, just like you. And if I wanted to like spend time catching Pokemon, and I every time I catch Pokemon, I'm like leveling up 10 times because I'm catching like level 50s. And then it's just like sucks.
At
Um,
that point, just play Pokemon Go if
yeah,
you're just trying to complete a Pokédex.
yeah. So in Arceus, basically every Pokemon you encounter is going to be out in the overworld, and you can choose how to like approach it. So you can like crouch and sneak behind one, and then like throw a Pokeball, and then you pretty much just catch it automatically if it's like a low enough level. Or
Hmm.
you can like throw stuff at it to like bother it. It's basically like being in the safari except like in the overworld, and you can see everything, and everything's like going down real time. Or you can throw your own Pokeball at it, like with the Pokemon inside it, and then start a battle. And it's just like so seamless and so like integrated, and it just feels like what a Pokemon game should be at this point, and we finally are getting it. And it looks dope in terms of that, and also like it has boss battles that are like actually involve like some action. So you get like a Dark Souls dodge roll, and you have these bombs, and you have to throw bombs at it to take its health down, and then you can throw your Pokemon out to do some damage to it. And in doing that, you stun it, so you can throw more bombs, and it's this cool little loop of like breaking up the action instead of just having turn-based combat. Um,
So do they still have gyms and gym battles and like Team Rocket and all that, or is it strictly just boss battles with like different Pokemon in the world?
okay, so I don't know if there's. I assume there's like some kind of like there's a rival, so there's that, and I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure there's like some gyms or some type of thing like that. Um, but I will say, you're in Sinnoh. You're in like the Sinnoh region, and there's like two tribes of people. There's like the Diamond and there's the Pearl, and they have like sort of like you're in ancient Sinnoh, and they have like different
Okay.
beliefs about like what Sinnoh should be, and well, like your ultimate goal is to finish the Pokedex, but you're also going to encounter Arceus. So there's like a real story here, and it's like way more involved than Sword and Shield was.
Yeah.
Um, like I hear that there's like the first few hours are kind of filled with exposition and actually like actual dialogue, um, to the point that like the story's actually pretty compelling. Um,
That's cool.
which sounds pretty exciting to me because Sword and Shield didn't really do much for me in terms of story. Like I still look back to like the third generation, where like Wally is sort of like a sickly boy, and he sort of like gets better, and as he does, he gets stronger, and he has like this dope like Pokemon party with him. I loved that story. Like I loved the like I don't know. I just feel like they were deeper back then, in terms of like just character stuff, and in this one like in Sword and Shield especially like Hop and the other one were just kind of like there, and Hop was always like crying about his party never being that good, and he never became like intimidating really. And then the other
Yeah.
guy had his party, and I just wiped his whole team with my Fox, the Dark Fox Pokemon that was introduced. I just wiped his whole team because they're all psychic, and I just used the same move, and I was like, okay, well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking this one is pretty good from what I see from all the reviews, and it's like a breath of fresh air. And I really hope that it's the way these Pokemon games go from now on.
So I'm kind of torn on it. A, because I've always liked Pokemon, but I've never been an avid Pokemon player. But B, the reviews I've seen, it's well received by the actual players, it seems like. Like it has 4.5 stars, just on reviews online alone from the actual people playing it. But coming from a company standpoint like IGN, they're literally a gaming news network. Well, they're more than that, but they do a lot of reviews. They're rating it 3.5 stars, almost 4 stars. And one of the things they're saying is that even though like the game does a lot to bring Pokemon, or they bring a lot to the game for what Pokemon should be, that it's lacking in its environment. A lot of things feel barren, and it doesn't feel super in depth. It doesn't feel like, what a world should be. So I don't know. I'm definitely an aesthetic gamer. I like games that look good. Even games that I loved growing up playing, I go back and I try to play them, and it's kind of hard because it's just like, oof, these graphics are not that great. So I feel like that would kind of affect my
Enjoyment.
enjoyment of the, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you liked the wild area in Sword and Shield, I don't know if you did. Did you?
I did. I liked it. I felt like it was kind of annoying because there were some places where it's like you could literally only access it like late game,
Yeah,
and it was like super hard to get to,
yeah.
which presents a challenge in its own right. So that's cool, but I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna make your game open world, or at least try to pass it off as open world, give you more pathways to get to places, not just make it
Mm,
one.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like to. Sometimes I judge games based on how they look, but honestly, you can't judge it until you've played it. So
Yeah, I mean, because I think those are valid complaints, definitely. Like, I do think it's probably a barren world, but looking at it on the Switch, probably like in handheld mode, I'd probably think, wow, this looks pretty good. And also,
That's
just like
true.
the UI and the art style are so beautiful to me that like it kind of excuses it a little bit. And
Hmm.
it's got this crafting system that's pretty dope, and I like it. You can like craft
Oh
your
yeah,
you can craft your
any game.
Pokeballs,
If
and
the game has crafting or fishing, I'll probably enjoy it.
it's got crafting. It's got that. You can like use your Pokemon to like swim, and you can actually see your Pokemon's model like surfing across the different water bodies. Um, it looks pretty dope in terms of that, and also the crafting system's cool. There's like resource collecting. You can throw your Pokemon in its ball at a thing that you want to collect, and the Pokemon will like pop out and like fucking like hit it out of the ground or like whatever, and they'll collect it. Or they'll
That's
like you can
cool.
throw it at a tree, and the Pokemon will get out of the tree and just like bonk his head against the tree, and then everything will fall down, and you'll get the berries from there.
That's
Um,
cool. That's a cool mechanic.
I think it's got things that you probably like, and then another thing that it has is and also I just want to mention on Metascore it's sitting at an 85, which is like great, and that's based on 46 critic reviews. Um,
Okay, well then yeah, it's probably a good game.
and I will say that like IGN might be souring on Pokemon a little bit just because they gave, or they might want to like gain back some journalistic integrity because they gave like Sword and Shield like a 9 or something. Or I don't want to say that, but they gave it a higher score than they gave Arceus, which I don't think is fair really. But it's also different reviewers, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
And it's not fair to make a generalization like that. But I will say that this probably does deserve a higher score than Sword and Shield just generally. But yeah, I feel like it's got a ton of new ideas. Um, and I really want to play it, but I don't have my Switch.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad. Um,
Well, there is something that you can play, and it's actually getting a huge update here soon.
oh
You
yeah,
want to
tell
talk
me
about
about
that?
this. Yeah.
Yeah, Apex Legends Season 12 is coming out. Your boy and Noah have been grinding it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving the ranked play, and it can be trying at times, especially in a game that is all about teamwork, and needing a third where it's just the two of us and we're looking for our third. So hey, at Supercharged, at Vuvuzela 21, at Tarnation Gaming, if you wanna join us, we're looking for a third who's actually dedicated to, you know,
Getting
grinding it
better.
out, but
Yeah.
getting better, yeah. But yeah, Apex Legends Season 12, it's releasing soon, February 8th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's in 9 days, 8 days. Yeah, 9 days. But I'm looking forward to it. What do you think you're looking the most forward to about the new release?
I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to say Maggie, but I think Mad Maggie might be what we need, what Apex Legends needs, because if Maggie, okay, so in the trailer, uh, in the launch trailer, we see like her throw a thing onto a box, and then it releases flames on the side that she threw it on, but also the opposite side. I don't know
Hmm.
how that works, like physics wise. Like I don't know how that makes sense, but that's dope because it could like easily be a new way to get like caustics out from a building or destroy their traps or something like that, which would be really really cool. And then aside from that, I am hopeful for maybe some ranked changes because Team KP would be good, uh, just in general, instead of like having to say, okay, how much KP do you have? Oh, you have one, I have three, so I kind of have different motivations than you at this point, and it's like
Yeah,
that sucks. That shouldn't be a thing. Um, because it's a team based game. Why not reward the whole team for the KP that your team got as a whole? Um,
true. I would think that would be a much better system for rank grinding, especially than just, being individualized for the person. Because say for instance, um, there's a lot of times where we'll be on a building and there's two or three other teams, and sometimes you'll be like, "Oh, this team over here is weak. I'm popping shots like hit this person, hit this person."
yeah,
Meanwhile, I'm over here doing the same thing for another team, and you get the knock on yours, but I don't get the knock on mine. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So that just contributes to you, and that's going back again to like you need to work together to team fire. Like we try to 3-2-1 some people
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Um, I think that would help though a lot. It would be more. What's the word I'm looking for? It'd be a better change.
Yeah, it would definitely. And like on that note, on ranked stuff, and KP by the way means kill points. I know I just like said things, and that's just your kills plus your assists while you're playing ranked. Um, yeah, but another thing that I think would be great is changing the sort of system right now where it's like, okay, you can get like max KP of 10 and like still okay. So instead of there being a max KP right now, there's a max RP that you can get after every match, and that's your ranked points. Um, so like the max might be like 195 if you're an Apex Predator, which means you can get like 15 kills and frag out at the very beginning and then die and get 13th place and still get max KP or max RP, which really shouldn't be the thing in a game that's a battle royale where you want to be the last person standing. You shouldn't benefit the people who do that and just hurt the sort of like health of the game. You want to have those fun, crazy like last ring battles that make Apex really what it is. That's what makes the game fun. That's why people watch ALGS, like the global series, so much, because that stuff is like filled with excitement and like edge of your seat gaming. And meanwhile, like, okay, yeah, you can frag out and have fun, but that's only fun for that one team. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, okay, this last circle kind of sucks. There's only 3 squads. I'm just going to wait in third party and then win.
Yeah,
It's just, there's not enough strategy there if we have this current system, because it's just encouraging the fraggers to just go frag and then not really learn the ins and outs of the game, which also is a problem because, okay, some people want to use ranked as like a way to practice for comp, but they can't really do that because ranked is so divorced from what comp is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because we actually played our first tournament a week ago at this point.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, wasn't there supposed to be one yesterday?
Yeah, there was one.
We missed out on it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. But yeah, we played a tournament last week, and it was just a low stakes tourney. It wasn't anything big, but it was definitely a lot different. Well, actually, I say that. It felt pretty similar because most of the players there were just
It felt like a diamond
uh,
lobby, probably. Yeah.
a little bit, yeah. Maybe like 1 or 2 teams felt like diamond. The others didn't feel like diamond. We just didn't have
Yeah.
a good time of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I see what you mean.
yeah,
For sure. But anyways, back to like, big season 12 woohoo is coming. 9v9, the 9v9 limited time mode is coming, which is like,
control.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun. I'm hoping it'll stay as like a permanent thing, kind of like arenas did.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like we need to have more diversity in the game as far as the game modes go. Which of course Apex Legends started off as a battle royale. Strictly, that should be its main focus, is a battle royale.
Yeah.
And making sure that that is in a healthy game state. So I'm hoping they'll bring some changes to some characters like Crypto and Pathfinder, who Crypto especially has been needing a rework, I feel like. But the control game mode could bring a lot more in regards of actual team play, because it is a 9v9 mode, and considering how many legends there could be all kinds of crazy combinations. So I'm really looking forward to what that'll bring.
Yeah.
As for what the map will look like, I don't know if it's going to be like arenas where it's just like a slimmed down version of the map. It's like the whole map. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. The map's gonna be weird. Maybe it'll have its own maps, but so I don't know. I feel like some of the arenas maps are too small, but also I feel like some of the arenas maps are probably the right size. Like Phase Runner is probably a good size, just because of how huge it is and how big the middle area is. And it'll be interesting. I'm sure they play tested like having zones in the arenas maps, and maybe that works. But yeah, I think it'll be like a good way to get in like some warm-ups without like having to go to an aim lab or something. So it'll just give you like a way to play within the game systems and like warm up, and that's great. It's infinite respawn, and you're just playing the game. And also it gives you a chance to probably test out other legends that you haven't played. So that's kind of cool. We don't know what it's really going to look like, but I'm excited for it. And yeah, I don't know if you can push to talk with 9 people in your team. That might be too
That's
chaotic.
going to be a little chaotic, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's gonna be like 3 squads of 3, and like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
each tasked with grabbing a different control zone.
Mhm.
Because I did see there's gonna be 3 zones, 3 control points, and there being normal squads are 3, and then 9 people on each team. I could see it being like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering how that'll play out. Do you think it'd be more like there's 3 zones, you have to capture at least 2 of them to win the round, or do you think it's going to be kind of like you have to kind of like a Iron Banner of Destiny 2 where you have to control all 3 zones to kind of really get in
Yeah, I
that
don't
point
know.
advantage?
I like Destiny's way of doing it, like Control, just like where you have to hold the zone and then you don't even get really points for holding the zone. You get points for killing after you hold the zones.
Hmm.
That's kind of cool. I don't know where they're going to take it because they could do like domination where you just hold two and you score, you get points passively.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think the benefit will be to get three, and then you're gonna get more points just naturally. But we'll see like how they actually do it. If you lock people out of it or what, it's gonna be interesting. And if it's gonna have buildings, like if it's gonna have buildings, these maps, then you're gonna have a lot of caustics,
A lot of caustics.
and a
Yeah.
lot of Watsons. But oh, and Watsons will just be naturally good. Watsons and caustics just to put fences up on the zones. So
Hmm.
maybe I don't know. It'll be weird to see.
I think it'll bring more to the Apex Legends that are overlooked a lot of the time. Bangalore maybe would be good.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You could, yeah,
Just you could smoke out the zone, and that way they don't know how many people are in the zone. I don't know, depending on how it plays. If it's a 3v3 and kind of separated zone, that might not work. But you never know. There could be like 5 people there, so it's a 5v3 advantage, and they don't know it because they're hidden.
yeah.
So
You
maybe
send,
some crazy Mirage plays.
yeah, I was gonna say, you send a Mirage to solo cap his own because he sends a decoy ahead of him. Looks like he has two people. He scares off the one guy holding it. He ults. He has
Yeah.
12 people on him. You don't know who to shoot. He's capping the whole zone.
Right.
Yeah,
So I think the LTM, for those of you that means limited time mode. Hopefully that'll be permanent. But I'm also looking forward to the map changes for what's it called again?
Olympus.
Olympus.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's gonna be cool. We saw in the trailer a bunch of buildings were falling and were being scattered around, and the stabilizers were turned off, so the city fell. So there's gonna be a new skybox. It's above and even it's above a city below it, so you'll actually see like the planet surface now. It's not just like you're in the clouds. So I think that's
yeah.
gonna be interesting. One thing I will say, because I feel like Battlefront always does this so good, is like their environmental like interactions. So you can be in a tank and blow up a building, and you'll see
Oh yeah,
that building actually come apart. If they could somehow bring that in Apex, that would be so cool. I feel like it would bring, I don't know. I feel like it just bring a lot more to the game. It'd bring a lot more to carrying grenades. Like grenades are effective as is right now. You can throw them in window slots. You can use them to hold off doors or to even push on a door. And fuse with his knuckle cluster, Valkyrie with her missile pack. Like there's all kinds of explosions. So I feel like if you could find a way to take advantage of that with the environment, that it would boost the gameplay, bring new strategies to the game. So I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. That would be cool. Um, and then I wanted to talk about, oh yeah, because like the trailer is pretty dope, especially like when the music is like it kind of like stops and it goes and like especially when the phase reactor is teleporting the whole Olympus into the other place, and you can kind of see how like Olympus is so like advanced technologically that it's like reacting to it and immediately turns the turbines on and starts like restabilizing. That's dope, and like the
Yeah.
music there was so good. And also, the thing I wanted to say is it looks like it's a nighttime skybox kind of, looks darker. And that would be dope because we haven't really seen a map that was like darker like that at
Not since
all, other than like,
the Revenant horror stuff before
yeah,
it was Ash.
yeah,
I think it was before Ash.
yeah, like King's Canyon After Dark was like, is the only dark map we really see, but, and I don't really want like a dark map, but like even like a sort of dusk or something like that would be great.
Just like a moonlight kind
Yeah,
of thing, like a full moon. Because I remember what was that game mode where when you died, you turned into like a shade or a shadow, and you had to protect your teammate.
yeah, Shadow Royale, or,
That
yeah,
one was fun. That game mode was fun, but that map was just really cool because it was different. It
yeah,
wasn't the same, and it affects your visibility. Honestly, if you have a character with a darker cosmetic skin, you just hide in a bush and then flank a bunch of people.
yeah. I think that's pretty much everything about Apex Legends. Oh, I want to see some guns move in and out of the care package. I don't think G7 Scout should be in the care package anymore. Because I don't really like it in there. Yeah, I'd
I
rather.
don't I don't think alternator should be in the care package. It never
True.
should have gone in.
Honestly, that's part of the problem. Is because okay, so you're playing Apex Legends and you notice there's so much heavy ammo everywhere and not enough light ammo. It's because there's like 8 weapons that use heavy ammo and like 4 that use light that are even out on the floor. So like the loot pool is going to be in that favor of heavy because there's just more heavy weapons.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks because we have the G7 and the alternator, 2 light weapons in there.
I want to see them put in a sniper again and take out the Kraber. I want the Kraber to be world drop.
Oh.
Maybe nerf the damage a little bit, but I still think it should be world drop because there are all kinds of crazy plays you can get with it. Either make it world drop and replace it with something else, or make it more common in the care packages. So just have the regular ground like floor loot. So like take the G7 and alternator out, and then Kraber and maybe still the Spitfire because Spitfire is still pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like where it's at right now, where it's like more. Okay, so I like where it's more common in the final circles and then less common earlier.
Hmm.
And I don't really know. I mean, okay, they made Mastiff. They took it out of the care package, and it was like insane in the care package. So I guess they could successfully do it, but they'd have to nerf it a lot. And I don't know. It might just ruin the identity of the Kraber. I don't know because I think a lot of people, including myself, do not like it because you can just get one hit for like essentially no reason. I don't know. It's kind of like I get the appeal of
Love
it.
hate relationship.
Yeah, because there's nothing better than just like grabbing a Kraber and then like hip firing, headshotting someone right next to you, and then bolting it up again and then doing the same thing to another person. But like, are those clips worth the pain of losing like something that you should not lose, but someone had a Kraber? So
Yeah,
screw you, I guess. That's
yeah.
kind of my problem. But you know, if the Kraber was floor loot, I'd be grabbing it every single time. So there's that. Um,
Yeah, I can see your point of view on that. But I don't know. It's frustrating that my alternator's in there. It's my baby.
yeah, I
And
think.
it seems like anytime because like so for those of you who don't play the game, the way it works is sometimes you'll get an Apex Legends pack just from ranking up or even doing the season challenges, and it'll give you cosmetic items. The last 2 seasons that they've put in a gun to the care package, I've gotten a gold tier amazing skin for it
uh,
just like literally right after they put it in the care package. It's like, well, this is worthless. Like
yeah, like
I can't
they're
even
probably
use
gonna put
it.
Wingman in the care package now.
No, if they put Wingman in the care package, dude, I'm fighting for
No, they
sure.
shouldn't. I don't think they should because like it requires so much skill to use. I don't think it's a good idea, but they might just to
Yeah.
spite you.
So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to pretty much right now. Apex Legends Season 12, Star Wars games in the future. Talk a bit more about this probably next week, but Elden Ring will be coming out soon, so I'm really looking forward to that. You got anything else you want to talk about, Noah?
No, yeah, February is gonna be filled with game news. Probably more similar review, like sort of roundup talking about like the games that are hitting the shelves. We'll be doing that. So if you liked this episode, you're probably gonna like the few episodes that we got in store for you in the coming weeks.
Yeah. So tell us what you think about the games that are out now, the games that are coming in the future. You can either at Supercharged Net or with hashtag Supercharged at Supercharged Net or at Vuvuzela21 at Tarnation Gaming. And I think that's all we've got for you today. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on the Supercharged podcast.
Yeah, thank you.